everything ready, because we are going to have a power pack session for the next 1 hour. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to get your insights on. So yeah, so we'll just wait for a couple of minutes for everybody to join in, and then we will get started. Okay. Are we looking at the numbers, Pinky? Should we wait or should we just start? Okay, I think we should begin. Right? I cannot see how many have joined in for some reason. But I think yeah, let's just start. All right, awesome. Alan's given the signal. Okay, let's go for it. All right. So, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in. Like I said, this is going to be a power-packed, a very insightful session for all of you. And we're so happy to, have you on board with us today. So thank you so much for joining in. Today's session, as you all know, is going to be about leveling up your LinkedIn. We are from Intern Match and in association with Study Melbourne. This webinar is going to basically help you with everything and all things LinkedIn. So let's get into it right away. My name is Gwyneth. You can look me up on LinkedIn as well. Sorry, that slide just popped out. And I also have Winky out here. Winky, say hello, raise your hand. She's going to be the co-host as well with me. I'm going to be talking about LinkedIn, what your profile should look like, what you should need. And Winky is then going to take over about what happens once your LinkedIn is all set up. All right, before we start, first and foremost, I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we are presenting from today, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and pay my respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging. All righto. So let's begin. Just want to get this thing. Okay, here we go. All right. So before we get into LinkedIn and what a sensational platform it is, just want to give you all an update about Study Melbourne's Career Catalyst program. This program basically offers a wide range of services ranging from career development services to guiding you through your career pathways, as well as a free practical in-person online workshops that will not only just help you, polish and update your LinkedIn profiles like what we're doing today, but will also sort of help you in your resume coaching and understanding the kind of jobs that you need to apply for. What is the job industry and the market size in Australia at the moment? A lot of professional and social network events. So make sure you keep an eye out for all the great events coming up. One small tip is to follow Study Melbourne and Intern Match on LinkedIn and on Instagram. We are constantly updating with all the upcoming events, all the upcoming webinars. They're free of charge, so make the most of it. It's all for your benefit. And we will love to see most of you for one of these events soon, right? So that's one of the ways to understand of what's happening. So do not forget to log on to LinkedIn and Instagram and follow Intern Match and Study Melbourne. Let's move on. All right, I'm trying to go on to the next slide. Okay, so here's what we're going to cover today. Like I said, LinkedIn is my favorite topic. It's a very important, it's a very sensational platform for you to put yourself out there, especially in a dynamic market scenario like today. What we need to do in LinkedIn, how do we need to sort of build our LinkedIn profiles. That's exactly what we're going to cover today. But we're mainly going to be talking about the 5 important factors of LinkedIn. So we're going to talk about how to navigate LinkedIn and set up a profile. We're going to talk about how you craft content for your profile. How do you take a good profile picture? How do you create a nice profile banner? and the art of making your profile very personal to you. Now, I know you would have a lot of questions. I know you would have a lot of doubts, a lot of concerns that you would probably want to raise. Please feel free to write it on the chat box. I've dropped in a little message out there. We will be sharing, this whole webinar across to you as well. And we will try and answer as many questions as we can at the end of this. So do not hesitate at any given point of time. If you think that you've got a question, please go ahead and put that on the chat box. But while you are in the webinar, you'll notice that we may cover a lot of your questions already. So you may have your answers as we go. All right, so let's dive in directly now. So, power of LinkedIn. Guys, I can't stress enough on how great a platform LinkedIn is. LinkedIn is basically a very long version of your resume. Now, you do understand that your resumes can be only for 2 pages, and there are a lot of things that you would probably want to talk about. There are a lot of things that you've done, a lot of certificates that you've gained, and you want to talk about all of that. And you feel that, oh my God, 2 pages for a resume won't be sufficient enough. I need to talk about it more. I want to talk about it more. LinkedIn is your go-to platform. LinkedIn is a place where you can actually talk about all the achievements, the courses that you're doing, all the possible certificates that you've gained, the upskilling courses that you're doing online, and even if you're attending a webinar or a conference, all of that can actually go on LinkedIn. The power of LinkedIn is so huge and so important, and it's one of my favorite platforms as of today. Here are a couple of facts that I would like to present, and this would only sort of tell you how powerful LinkedIn is. LinkedIn has about 875 million users worldwide. That's impressive, right? Now, close to two-thirds of users are aged between 25 to 34. Raise our hands. That's where we all are, isn't it? Give me a youth smile. That's where exactly we are. This is the market. We are the ones that are supposed to be on LinkedIn, making the most of it, because two-thirds of us falling in this age bracket are the ones on LinkedIn. Only 3 million users share content weekly, and about 49 million individuals worldwide use it for online job boards to look for work. Now, I want you to take a minute and look at this sentence. 3 million users share content weekly. 3 million users out of the 875 million users worldwide. Look at the gap, guys. Look at the gap. Look at the platform that you've got to be there, to vouch your opinions, to talk on LinkedIn, because no one else is doing that. No one else is actually sharing content. No one else is actually doing this on a weekly basis. So that's when you come and you can bridge that gap and fill that gap. So we really want you to get inspired to use LinkedIn as a professional platform for you to come and vouch your opinions, to vouch what you feel with regards to your work, your journey, and things like that. Don't worry, we'll get to all of that in a bit. Fortune 500 companies love LinkedIn, as do we. It's the most powerful social media platform for companies to use. And if your profile has photos, you will get 21 times more views than without it. Let these numbers not bother you for a minute now. We will come to the importance of a profile photo and how exactly a profile photo needs to be in a bit. Yeah. So, what do you think the point of being on LinkedIn and having a profile is? Now, this is a question that I would want to pose to all of you out there. Put it in a chat box for me at the moment. What do you think the point of being on LinkedIn is and having a profile, apart from the stats that I mentioned earlier? Can somebody just, mention that? What do you think the point of being on LinkedIn is? Put it on the chat box there. What's the importance? Use emojis if you want to use emojis. Go for it. For starters, I feel for me, the point of being on LinkedIn is to network. I love networking people. I love talking to people. I love knowing what their journeys are all about. So for me, that's my point of being on LinkedIn. Does someone want to also share what's their main purpose of being on LinkedIn? What is it that you are here today for? Why do you want to know about LinkedIn so much? There has to be one or two reasons. Okay. Anybody? Greater chance of finding a job. All right, that's good. Okay. All right. So apart from jobs, well, there are a lot of other things that we could possibly also do, and we will be talking about that in a minute. Now, power of LinkedIn. Okay, what is LinkedIn exactly used for? Now, I've constantly been saying how sensational this platform is. You can use LinkedIn to experience proof point. You could use LinkedIn to job hunt. You could use LinkedIn to make friendships. You could use LinkedIn to get hunted. You could use it for business development, for mentorship, for seeking opportunities, idea, inspiration, invitations, and events. Now, I'm going to be sharing a very short, small story. It's a cute story. Now, how did I get the job at Intern Match, you would ask, right? Well, I'm an international student myself. And last year, around exactly this time, Intern Match hosted a similar event where they spoke about the power of LinkedIn and how would you level up your LinkedIn profile. Now, when I came into this country, I already had a LinkedIn profile which was up to date. But I said, let me just log into this profile. Let me just log into this webinar and see what is it that my profile is missing. Now, this webinar was conducted by the founder of Intern Match. And after the webinar, I sent him a LinkedIn request. I put in a little note saying, thank you for a power-packed webinar. It was really insightful. I understood what my LinkedIn profile is missing, what I need to add now to sort of, make it more adaptable to a new environment. And one thing led to another. I was then having a cup of coffee with him in a week's time, and he offered me a job. And that's how life's come a whole circle. And today I'm talking to you about the power of LinkedIn, the very same webinar I was attending last year around the same time. Now, how cool is that, isn't it? Like, if I wouldn't have gone and met him on LinkedIn, if I wouldn't have gone and interacted, if I wouldn't have gone and put myself out there, I would probably not have been here today. So I want you to get inspired by this. After this webinar, I want you to drive all the inspiration that you can get from this and go and make LinkedIn your own and fall in love with it. Because guys, trust you me, it is a beautiful platform. What is LinkedIn as a multi-step process? Well, it's not as simple as, just going and putting a picture and just writing something and, making it just look like your resume. It's a little more than that. There are multiple steps that we're looking at. We're looking at completing a profile. We're looking at building a network. We are looking at engaging with content, and what do you do after you post content, right? So these are the multiple steps that we're looking at. Feel free to take screenshots as you go, because I think it's important for you to also, keep this in front of you once this webinar is over. Go back to your LinkedIn profiles, take a little quiz on it, see what's missing, see what's not, and get it up to date. Now let's dive straight into it. The most important topic why we are here, your profile. What are the do's and don'ts? Now, I've got a little screenshot here of our wonderful Ellen, who is working with us at Intern Match, and she's got a beautiful profile as well. And this is an example of how your LinkedIn profile should look. Now, you can see these little pencils out here, right? So first things first, what you need to do is sign up for a profile. Okay, you can probably give me emojis as a thumbs up if you've already got a LinkedIn profile. All right, and you could probably give me a high five if that's what you would want to go and do now, is to make a LinkedIn profile. So on the chat box, if you've got a LinkedIn profile, give me a thumbs up, give me a high five saying that I'm going to go and make my LinkedIn profile after a webinar. So pop that into the chat box. I want to see how many of you have got a LinkedIn profile and how many of you are going to go and make one immediately after this session. So what you do is, when you make your LinkedIn profile, when you sign up for it, you navigate to editing your profile. And that's the key, most important thing. There has to be a picture that basically shows who you are. There has to be a face to a name, right? So the minute you go and you edit your LinkedIn profile, start from top and work your way down. Okay, these little pencils here highlighted are the ones that basically show you what needs to be done. Now, this right here is called a profile banner. This would be your profile picture. your name, a little bit about yourself, and the country or where you are. We're all in Melbourne, we're all in Australia, so you could put that and pop that up right there. We'll come back to each of these segments in detail. Now, here are the key sections and the key pointers to include in your LinkedIn profile. I've already mentioned it's your banner and your profile picture. It's the headline, summary, work experience, and education. Please take a screenshot of this as well. If you ask me what a profile banner is, this is your profile banner. This is your profile picture. When you see these little pencil marks, these little pencil symbols, that's basically something that you need to use to edit your profile, right? So you could choose a profile banner, you could have your profile picture. This is a little of a description of, in short, of who you are and what is it that you're doing and what is it that you want to seek. And you could have the other things that will just pop up as you start filling your profile. Oh, sorry, I'm going back up there. Yeah, so here we are, profile picture, your headline, your banner, and your name. So these are the first things any recruiter will see the minute they check your LinkedIn profile, and it's super important. I would strongly recommend to have this first in place before you go and start building your profile. So start from top and then work your way down. Now, if you're going to ask me, how do I create my own banner? Well, you can use Canva. Now, guys, as much as I love LinkedIn, I cannot stress on how much I also love Canva. But we are here to talk about LinkedIn, so we'll leave Canva for some other time. When you log on to Canva, you can take the free version of it, and you will have heaps and heaps and a plethora of LinkedIn background photos that you can choose from. Just go type in on search LinkedIn background photo. It will pop up. Choose the best that looks the best for you. Try to take something which is more neutral, which is pastel, which is, soothing to the eye. Don't take something that's too busy, that's too stark, that has a lot going on, because in the end, it is your professional profile. Unlike your Instagram and TikTok, this is your professional platform. This is something that talks about your skill sets. It talks about you getting a potential job in the future. So keep it simple, keep it neutral, use soft tones. There are a lot and multiple LinkedIn background photo banners to choose from on Canva. Select something that's more personal to you. You will also notice that you can also change and play around with the fonts, the colors. If you've got a lovely quote that you love the most and that's helped you, you can also pop that in. So take a screenshot of this as well. Create your own banner on Canva, play around with it, and that is your first step. What is step number two? Step number two is, all right, oh, I also missed mentioning, you can also create your own banner on Unsplash. Now, Unsplash is a beautiful platform, guys. It's something that will give you some of the best pictures. Like you can see photos of the waves, the rocks, the ocean. It's an overview view shot of, a beautiful scenery. So in case if you want something which is, closer to nature, Unsplash is your go-to. It's a beautiful platform. Go and visit it. Again, it's a free portal, so you don't really have to pay anything for it. You could, put up an aerial shot of anything that you really like, closer to nature, and you can download a picture and put it up as your profile banner. What is your headline? Did I miss a slide? No. What is your headline? Now, simple. Your headline can either be your current role at your current company. For example, I am Gwyneth and I am in the client success team in Internmatch. So my profile would be Gwyneth Pereira, client success at Internmatch. Now, you can be a little more creative. You can showcase your skill sets and you can keep it more generic. Another example of how it should look is Ellen's. Look at Ellen's profile here. So she says she loves building connections through events and partnerships. She's a creative thinker and she strives for impactful results. How great is that? Now, in one word, when you look at Ellen's profile, you know that she's in events and partnerships, she's a creative thinker, and she likes to deliver impactful results. So we're looking at a headline which is short, which is crisp, which is something that, conveys the message very quickly, but also talks about you as a whole, and it's not too lengthy. If you are studying, which I understand most of you are, worry not, we've got an example for you out there. You could say that I'm studying, I don't know, I'm studying accounting with Deakin University, and just highlight your skills. Like, I'm a go-getter, I love to learn, I love to upskill, I believe in using the best of my abilities at my workplace. So mention that out. Mention that I'm studying marketing with the University of Melbourne, or I'm studying finance and accounting, or I'm studying data analytics. Whatever is your current status, like if you've not got a job and you're a new student here, you're still studying, let that be your headline. Highlight what you're doing currently, because that has got a lot of weightage as well. So ensure your headline speaks about your current status, your current role and position. Profile picture. Now, we love a great profile picture, don't we? All of us really love a great profile picture. So now it's the key, most single important factor when you make your LinkedIn profile. Now, it brings your profile to life. It puts a face to your name. It's personal. It makes people know who is this person who's reached out to me, who is this person who wants a job. So like any of the social media platforms that you have, the first thing that you do is you put up a profile picture. Likewise, having a profile picture on LinkedIn is super important. Do not leave it as is. Put up a profile picture. It only helps with creating a first impression. And you'll also notice, like I mentioned in the previous slides, any LinkedIn profile with a profile picture gets 21 times the views that it would get if you wouldn't have had a profile picture. So imagine the chances of someone seeing your profile just shoots up 21 times more. That's the importance of a profile photo. So people can connect with you. There is a face to a name. It creates a positive impression about you. So profile pictures, very, very, very important. How do you capture a profile photo? Now, it's fine if you don't really have a professional take your photograph. That's absolutely fine if you do not really have a headshot taken for you. All that you need to do is ensure that you can click a picture by yourself and follow a couple of guidelines. Now, we have written the guidelines here for you. Take up your iPhone, right? Take up your iPhone. Most of the phones right now are equipped with the kind of software, are equipped with all these lenses that you have that could help you get a nice photo. So stand in front of a wall, where the sunlight and the light is facing you. It has to be a blank wall. It has to be a simple background. Set your phone on the timer, have someone take it for you, or you could take it by yourself through a timer, of course. Smile. Look at Ellen's picture here. She's smiling. We love that, don't we? Have a happy expression. Use a high resolution image. What you're wearing, wear something that's neutral tone, wear something that's basic and plain. Do not have too stark a color on your shirt or on your dress. You don't want it to look busy. You don't want it to look heavy. It shouldn't look too stark and too overwhelming, right? So have something simple so your focus is on your face, right? So these are some of the tips and the guidelines that I would like to share with you today in terms of getting a nice profile picture. What next is a summary. Now, feel free to take a screenshot of this, because this is basically about you, a section that talks about you, a section that talks about who you are, what is it that you've been doing so far, where is your passion, where are your skill sets lying. So much like a career objective which is on your CV, your summary is a short paragraph or two to explain your whole career journey. It talks about your plans. It talks about, what you see yourself doing in 5 years. It talks about the kind of skill sets that you've got. You can even add an additional paragraph providing more information about your current role. If you are starting fresh as a beginner, if you've got absolutely no prior work experience, worry not. You could talk about the kind of projects that you're doing in your university. talk about your internship, talk about the volunteering opportunities that you've done at uni, talk about the projects that you've done, talk about how you have led a project in your course. So these are a couple of things that you could add on to your About Me section in your LinkedIn profile. You can go all out. Like you see, here we've got a couple of paragraphs here. They're short, they're crisp, they're precise. Make it that way for you as well. Talk about you as a person. What is it that drives you? What is it that motivates you? Why are you on LinkedIn to search for a job? Because you want to upskill, you want to grow. There is a professional ladder that you want to climb on. So talk about all of this. Talk about what you like doing. Talk about that you are excited to go for events. You love upskilling, you love networking. This is a nice way to sort of build your summary, and that's your first all impression that someone would get when they come onto your LinkedIn profile. Highly recommend to take a screenshot of this section. This would really help you in drafting your own summary as you go. All right. Moving on. Oh, we've also got something over here that I could share. Sorry, that went away. Yeah. So paragraph 1. Now, I already mentioned all of this in the previous slide, so I'm just going to run this very quickly because I'm also conscious of time. Paragraph 1 needs a summary of who you are, what you study, what are the current roles that you're in. Paragraph 2, delve into what you're learning at the university, the key areas of focus, any achievements, projects that you've undertaken. Paragraph 3, what is the experience, internship, and roles that you've done? If you can relate that to your study, any transferable skills that you've noticed, that would be a nice place to go. Paragraph 4, not necessary, but it would be a great place to add more information about who you are as a person, your hobbies, any side hustles that you've done, and extracurricular activities, right? So please feel free to take a screenshot of this as well. Work experience. Now, this is the best part. Your work experience section will reflect a lot of what you've got on your CV, on your resume. You will input who, what, where, when into a pre-created section. Now, this is something that already is fed on LinkedIn. You really do not have to create it. Just simply go click on this little pencil symbol out here, and it will automatically show you a little form where you can go and feed all your data. You can feel the number of the number of months that you worked in a certain company, the country, the place where you worked in. You're talking about your skills out here. And the minute you fill this up and say save, automatically LinkedIn will flash this for you. You really don't have to do much out here because LinkedIn already does the heavy lifting out for you there. So you could talk about your responsibilities, achievements, what they were, the kind of skill sets that you've, sort of gained while doing this job out there. And the minute you feed everything onto it and you save, this is how it's going to pop on your LinkedIn profile as well. So it has a beautiful overview of where you worked, number of months you worked at, the kind of roles that you've undertaken, and the skill sets that you have gained while you were working at your said place. Education, again, it's a very important factor. There are two sections. You can add your education and your professional development on LinkedIn. One is under the education section, and one is under the courses section. Now, education, you could talk about the university that you're studying in, from when you're starting to when is the course ending, and the name of the course that you're undertaking. Like for your Builders Academy Australia, you could see Diploma of Education, Leadership and Management from 2020 to 2023. So all your education, right from your school to your high school to college to uni, can come in that, so that, when a recruiter looks at your profile, they have a good overview of all the education, your education background. Like I said, simply list the education provider name, degree, qualification, and the year you've obtained it. You could also put in your license and certificates. There is a separate section for this altogether. Anything that you've learned. LinkedIn offers a wide range of free courses. So it's simple. Just go onto this, click the little pencil button, and then you can feed it as you go. awards, volunteering, and more. Now, I know a lot of you have done a lot of volunteering opportunities. A lot of you are so super talented. You all would have had awards in your university. So this is a nice section to feed that all in. Like I said at the start of the presentation or the webinar, that you may not have all the, you may not have the availability of putting all of this on your CV. It's not feasible sometimes because you want to squeeze all that information in 2 pages. LinkedIn is your go-to. Go brag, go talk about it. Do not miss any single information. You've got a small award for doing something, go ahead, put it. You've done a small volunteering job, go ahead, put it. Showcase it on your profile as much as you can. Now, when it comes to LinkedIn, more is the best. Like I've been saying it right from the start. Go ahead, put everything on LinkedIn. The more you put it, the more it's awesome, because that gives you a chance to express yourself completely, which is otherwise not possible when you do it on your CV, right? CV restricts you in 2 pages. There are a lot of things that you can't do, a lot of things that you can't add. Your LinkedIn profile is your go-to. Go ahead, brag, talk about it. Add every little thing that you've done, which is of relevant significance to your professional experience. Now, you've got a great profile. That's super. I'm so happy for all of you. Now, you've got a great profile. What do you do next? What happens once you've built a LinkedIn profile? You'll be like, hey, Gwen, I've done a LinkedIn profile. Now, what do I do with it? Now, for that, I'm going to invite Winky to take over. Winky is going to tell you what happens after a great LinkedIn profile is built. In the meantime, a gentle reminder for all of you, if you have any questions, please feel free to pop that in the Q&A question box on the chat box, and we'll address each of these. Over to you, Winky.
Thanks, Gwyneth. Thanks for giving us complete insight into completing your LinkedIn profile. I hope you have got a lot much info on completing your profile. Now, I'll take on the next part of it. What do you do after completing your profile? So like Gwyneth mentioned earlier, the purpose of having a LinkedIn profile is to build your network. Basically, LinkedIn is for professional network. All right. So if you are new to LinkedIn, you have just created your profile, or you're just going to complete your profile tonight after this webinar, then the next step would be, after completing your profile, is to have some connections, because you can only build up your network if you have some connections. If you have someone already in your network, then you will be able to see your first degree connection, your second degree connections. So you can start from connecting with your family. Family, I don't mean to say that you invite your aunties or uncles to LinkedIn, but only the professional family members that you already have on LinkedIn. So connect with them. Connect with your friends. You can connect with your friends at uni as well who are studying with you, or you can connect with your friends in different universities as well. It's all about building the network. And today you might feel like, oh, they're also studying with me, what would be the benefit? But you might reap some benefits going forward in the future. So just connect with everyone. You can connect with your lecturers as well. You can connect with your classmates, and whosoever you know in your professional network, feel free to send them a connection request and connect with them. All right. Next slide, please. All right. So once you have made few connections, then the next step would be how to build your network more, how to upgrade it. You might be attending any events like this one, online events, face-to-face events, any networking events where you are talking to people. You can connect with those on LinkedIn. All the professionals have LinkedIn profile. You can follow speakers on LinkedIn. You don't have to necessarily connect, but you can, follow them. You can see their content, and you can engage with their content, and you can learn from their content. You might be having some people as your mentor in your mind. You can follow them. You can also see their content. And then going forward, you never know, you can connect with them when you see them at an event, or you meet them in person anywhere. You can then connect with them as well. And then, like, you will be attending events, you'll be growing your network. It will keep growing with your networking. And then the easiest thing that LinkedIn has made to connect for everyone is by using QR code. We have been using QR code at all the events that you go. So on your LinkedIn app, on your mobile, in the right side in the search bar, there is a little QR code. You can just open it, and anyone can scan it, and then you get a connection request on it. And similarly, there is a second tab on the right to scan, which you can use to scan anyone else's QR code as well. And the other tip that I wanted to give you is you can also screenshot your QR code. So like you search your QR code and then screenshot it and save it, because then you don't have to rely on network. So like if you're in an event and your network is not fast, it's not coming up or an issue, but you will have your QR code saved in your screenshot, then you can share it with anyone you're talking to at an event, and they can connect with you. And then later on, you can see their profile and connect with them. All right. And yep. And sorry, the next slide, please. Yeah. So it's a good practice to send a note when you're connecting with someone, especially if you are connecting with someone senior in your field, or a speaker, because, connecting with a stranger doesn't give a good feeling to any of us. So if you have a message in there, like where you have met them, or why you want to follow them, or just give a brief intro about yourself. Might be you are a marketing student and you are connecting with the marketing manager. You can let them know that I'm studying marketing and I want to connect with you, to get some info to follow you. So just always give a connection message, and it's a good practice to send a connection message via laptop, I would say, because from the phone, if you click on connect, it directly goes as a connection request. So it basically skips that step for you where you can send a message. So to add the message, prefer to send connection request using a laptop. So when you're using on LinkedIn on a browser, it gives you an option to send a message. So make sure you are adding a message whenever you're adding strangers to your LinkedIn. All right. Next slide, please. Yep. Okay, so now I've told you enough about how to add people to your network, how you can grow your network. Now, the next thing is you need to nurture your network as well, because this is a two-way street. You can just not be following one way, going on just adding your network, but not engaging with them. So it's very, very important to engage with your network. So whenever you see anyone's post, like they have moved into a new role or they have joined a new organization, congratulate them, connect with them, or engage with their activities. It could be anything. It could be their achievement in their current role. And if you engage with them, they will remember you. If you meet them in an event, they will remember you. And then you can also bring it up. We are connected on LinkedIn already. So it just basically sets up a base for your connection and your conversation. And maybe you never know, when you join an organization, you might have some mutual LinkedIn connections in the organization, and that could also be fruitful for you to learn from them and go ahead from them. So the important thing is to like, comment, and share their content. If you feel there's an article that can give information to others as well, so feel free to share others' content as well. All right. And then, last slide, please. Yep. And when you have a network on LinkedIn, you might be connected with some recruiters as well. And then recruiters also post their roles in there. So you can get an idea which company is hiring, which recruiter is hiring. Then you can reach out to them and you can apply for them. And if you're connected to a recruiter, it's very easy to see their post. And once you start liking their post, engaging with their post, you will see more content from their side. So you'll always be on top of on what jobs they are looking for. And then you can go on LinkedIn and then apply for it, or maybe go on the company's website and then apply for it. But it gives you an easy pop-up on a phone that which company is hiring or which recruiter is hiring, and then you can go from there. And then some recruiters also have post regarding their internship opportunities with the organization. So that is another way that would help you to gain internship as well. So you can go on the companies and apply for internship from there. And you can also share your content as well. So it's not only engaging with others' content, but also put up your content in there as well. So whatever is having going on in your career, like you are attending an event, you can post there. Or if you're learning something, you can put up there. Or if you have gained a certification, you can share it there. So yeah, it's a two-way street. So try to post content as well, but don't make it your Insta. You don't have to put everything on there every day. It could just be weekly or fortnightly, but just put something professional in there so that you are also giving information or you are also giving insight to your professional or your career, to your network. Next slide, please.
Oh, sorry. I think I just directly jumped into it, Pinky. Apologies for that. I'm not quite sure how that happened. Yeah, what is this? Oh, I think we're done.
No, there are a few slides ahead of
A
it.
few slides. Sorry. Give me a minute. Okay, be very mindful of this. 24, 25, 26. Yeah, this is
Yeah, go ahead.
okay.
Go ahead, keep going. Yep, yep,
There you
yep.
go. Sorry.
Yep. So now what you can post, that would again be a challenge. I know some of you might be thinking, oh, what should we post? So this slide is giving you an idea. You can might be take a screenshot of it to get some ideas for the future. So it is giving you an idea what you can post. So 25% of your post could be what you are up to these days. So what's going on. So like if you're attending any event or if you're attending a seminar or whatever you are doing within your community, you can post something like that. And you can post about your company or your uni, whatever is happening in there. And if you are celebrating any of your achievement, you can share that as well. Like if you have completed some project or something, you can share that content as well. And then other thing could be like showcasing your skill set. So if you complete a course or certification, you can share that with your network. And then you can also share any achievement so that people can celebrate with you. And if you are promoted to a role or if you have completed your uni, you can post that as well, so that your network would know that you have completed this certification and you are celebrating your degree as well. Next slide, please. So these are some of the ideas that I have just told you. So like in the first one, you can see someone has just shared my work from home college. You can share something like that as well, just to have an engaging content. So it could be like, anything you are working on project from home, you can just click a photo and put up something in there. And then if you're starting a new position, maybe as an internship or as volunteering, you can put it up there as well, so that people can see, okay, what you have started now could be don't worry if it's volunteering or internship. It's all good to give your audience an update what you're doing professionally. And then your team, what team you are working with, you can have a photo with them, obviously with their consent, but you can put up that as well. And then attending any online conference and in-person event, you can just put up a photo of that as well. And then if you are interested or if you've registered for an event, then also you can share that in your LinkedIn, that I'm going to attend this event, and it would be shown on your LinkedIn profile. And that would also give others an idea that you are so curious to learn, grow your network. That is why you're attending events. You are going for other events as well, on person and online. So it basically builds up your profile. Next slide, please. All right, so LinkedIn is not a one-day shot that you just complete it today and tomorrow you build your network and then other day you put up a content, that's it. It's not something like that. You have to keep it in practice with this, keep in touch with it. Every day it has to be keep working. So you cannot build up your network in first week or 2 weeks. It will obviously grow with your profession, with your experience. Wherever you'll go, you will keep on adding your colleagues, your mentors, your managers. So it will keep growing with your professional growth. So it's make it a habit that you are every day, not every day, but every other day logging into it. And then you're posting weekly, fortnightly, keep your network engaged. And don't forget to use the QR code thing whenever you're going to an event. It's such an easy access, easy to connect with people. Next one. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed the information that we have given, and we've got lots around LinkedIn from